Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a gorgeous day. Leading back up into a little bit of heat now. I understand that it's going to warm up this week, but this weekend was like Chamber of Commerce, absolutely perfect. It was awesome. Now, we took a daycation, is that what you call it?
I believe so.
You might call it a half daycation, since I went to town and did a little business and then came, and we didn't leave till like 1 o'clock. But it was
three-quarter-cation, I guess, because you only spent just about 30 minutes to most of an hour.
I wasn't gone long. It was such a beautiful time. And I got to tell you, do y'all know how lucky we are to live where we live? We have the no traffic issues. We have lots of places to see and do. We have
You're going to have traffic issues before long.
We are. There's something coming to town called the Apple Festival. There's something about the leaves that are going to be coming to town. So we're going to recommend that in the next 2 weeks, you get out and see everything you want to see.
That don't seem to be a bother, though, to this area. And for the people of this area who need to go somewhere else, they know the pig trails to get around the traffic.
They do.
So it all works out.
But if you choose like this coming weekend and next weekend, then you kind of get it done before the leaf lookers. Now the leaf lookers bring a lot of money to our economy, so boy do we welcome them. We open the door and say, come on in, y'all. They buy gas, they go to restaurants, they stop at your shops. Everybody is spiffing up the downtown areas and getting ready to show off. And that's kind of something we can do. We have bragging rights. You know, if you go to Ball Ground, they have done tons and tons of work. If you come into Jasper, there's so much going on. There's always something happening in downtown Jasper. If you come to Talking Rock, now Talking Rock is one of my favorite little towns. And if you want to have your picture made there with the train, or if you go out to the little creek, or if you want to take your Prel shampoo and your razor, you could sit in the creek, shave your legs, do your hair. Done it, been there, done that. Mama said I polluted the creek. Reckon I'm what's wrong with the ecology.
You might be.
What's wrong with the economy too.
Yeah.
Lord, last night I don't know how Karen chose this part of the home, but it was my favorite ever. Because it showed the olden days when we went down, Lori and I went down to Butts Mill Farm. Can you tell folks how to get to Butts Mill Farm?
No, I cannot. I don't remember.
The road we went on was...
Was it right on 27? I mean, right off of 27?
But I don't remember
town.
even the little town. But if your kids like animals, if you like, now I will tell you, most of the time it's a lot hotter in Middle Georgia than it is up here, but while the tourists are coming to North Georgia, you can go to Middle Georgia.
And 27 is actually, I think it goes through Columbus and on up through the little small towns, Callaway Gardens, and it'll even go up into Carrollton, Cedartown, and Rome. And Somerville. It just keeps on and going.
Well, when Lori called and said, I've got us a place to do some Heart of the Homes, and I think you're really, really going to like it, she forgot about my allergies. And so she got to the place early, and she was kind of set up and ready to go, and I keep driving. I'm going, baby girl, where are you? I cannot find this place. It is a long way out here in the country. She said, oh, it's beautiful. When you get here, you'll love it. I was there about 10 minutes, and I couldn't breathe because we stayed in an old grist mill. Now, an old grist mill has two things going for it. Character, oh, Lord have mercy, it was ate up with character. It has water underneath it because the mill, what do you call that wheel? Paddle? Wheel? Whatever?
Water wheel. Was
still there. It was still doing its thing underneath where I slept. So by the time we'd been there about 6 hours, I couldn't hardly breathe. And you can tell that on that Heart of the Home.
What was her affiliation with the place?
I'm not sure. I think they contacted her. Oh, she was doing a little travel show. That's what it was.
Okay.
And she was choosing places to travel to. That was the thing. And so they said, come on down and do this. Well, we had a cabin that slept 12 or 15, and we had about 11 of us there, and we had a great, great time. But you will notice in this Heart of the Home, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe hardly at all. And by the time we left there, I was really choked up. But it was Mother's Day weekend. It was a great time to visit there.
Well, it's kind of funny that you had Fred add that in with the Diplomats, because the Diplomats was on here too, and they are from
That
in and
area.
around that area. Like Michael Lott, their piano player, and other things he sings and whatever
Right.
else, plays the guitar. He actually lived in Catala, Georgia, on Holland Road, right across from the Satterwhites.
Who's from Catala, Georgia? Who lived there? Not from there, but who lived there for a few years?
Well, Mom and Dad lived there
That's
for about
right.
a year and a half, I believe.
That's
so.
right. And do you know, we found the house they lived in. Little tiny, looked like a little
Yeah.
Jim Walters home, little tiny house.
Yeah.
But we also went to where your granddaddy had his place and his old store. And if you haven't taken a trip back to your past, it's a nice daycation. If you lived, you know, like over the Alabama line or whatever, it's fun to go back, wasn't it?
Yeah. And now we have to go in the motorhome when we take the family, unless Matt would let us borrow his van.
We do. But look back and enjoy a glimpse of the past, because this old grist mill was a glimpse of the past. I think it was built in the 1700s. And now you kind of made fun of what I cooked that night. You said, I would never eat that. I think are the exact words you said.
That night.
That on that show, Toting the Hole.
Oh, I've ate it.
But you said cholesterol, cholesterol.
Yeah.
It probably did have a little bit of cholesterol, but it's a good recipe for kids. And if you didn't get to see that episode, it is a good recipe to teach a child. And I learned how to do that early. And it's just always been a favorite. And it's nothing. It's an egg and a piece of bread. So there you go.
Well, you also had, what was that, corned beef hash?
Corned
or
beef
something?
hash with
now
baby
that's
Swiss
where
cheese.
the cholesterol and the cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, but it sure was good. And
And while I was sitting there watching that, I was eating a pizza.
that he made himself. Do we want to tell why you made a pizza?
It's up to you.
He doesn't like my salmon patties. My kids love them. My husband loved them. Everybody loves them, but him, he
Well,
hates them.
Nick wasn't so fond of them last night.
But Nick said he never liked the salmon patties. Now this is
He'd
salmon.
never had Mama's
That's right. That's right.
or Amy's.
That's the problem. He comes in and he told me after I made these salmon patties, he said, you need to go to Annie's and let her teach you to make salmon patties. And I said, really? So I texted Angela and I said, Brackett doesn't like my salmon patties. She said, what's wrong with that boy? So today, guess what we're having for lunch? Leftover salmon patties.
Not me. But yeah, I went last Friday morning. I thought, well, why don't me and Cherie treat herself and go to Annie's for breakfast? And I called and I called. I couldn't get Cherie on the phone, so I went on to Annie's and sit there and waited and called and waited for your call back. And you never did call back, so I sat there and had gravy and biscuit and a salmon patty that was, I am not exaggerating, that thing was that big around.
And you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And Annie, he loves your salmon patties. He hates mine. And the difference, I think, that he couldn't quite handle, ours was fresh Alaska salmon, and you said it was too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was actually caught fresh out of the river in Alaska, and it was a fresh salmon. And I think it did make a difference. So, but anyway.
You had, speaking of,
So I threw some out to the dog to make a point. I said, well, if you don't eat them, I guess the dog will. And I
well, how many
sailed
patties did you make? You made a bunch.
40.
40?
I made a bunch. I don't know. I made 2 big old plates.
Well, besides the salmon and the,
Fresh potatoes out of the garden.
no,
Uh-uh.
besides the salmon, you had scallops sent
Fresh
back.
from Alaska. Ask me how he liked those.
I didn't taste them.
Let me tell you what he did.
I couldn't get my nose far enough away from it.
It was so funny. He just put the pillow over his nose and held it up.
It was
He
awful.
said, I can't handle that stuff. It stinks.
It is
You
awful.
know, you're not much of an adventurer, are you?
Well, the
I did get him to go.
smell will kind of lure you in a different direction.
I did get him to go on a daycation. And we ended up, and he pulled one on me, and I'm still going to get him back. We go to River Bend, is that the name of it?
Yep.
In Hiawassee, Georgia. beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, never been there, didn't know anything about it. We went kind of down some pig trails, and I'm thinking, where is this man taking me? So we get there, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's on a river. Do we know the name of the river?
Yes, we do.
What is it?
Don't you know?
I have no idea.
Hiawassee.
Hiawassee River. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So I get out and I video, and I get the sound of the water, and oh, it's so relaxing and it's so nice. And right across the river is this beautiful, beautiful two-story house for sale. Well, I want a place on the river. My dream is to have a place on the Toccoa River. When I get old and retire, I want to retire to the Toccoa River. But then I'm doing this little video, you know, and I'm thinking, this is really beautiful. And I keep looking, and right here with this house, just about, 50 feet away from me maybe,
Yeah.
is a Coldwell Banker sign. And I said, call about that. Let's just see how much it was. And he's real serious, and y'all, you got to learn about him. He's got this dry humor. And I'm sitting there, hurry up and look it up. Hurry up and see how much this house is. I'm a little bit on the impatient side, and y'all know that about me just a little bit. And I said, Freddie, look it up. I said, here's where it is. And in just a minute, he goes, oh, 219. And I'm thinking, well, if I have to rob the bank, I'm going to buy that house for 219. He was lying. He was really, what were you doing? Cheating me, lying to me. He was just baiting me is what he was doing. We never did find the house on the FMLS.
No, I didn't look very hard.
He didn't look hard because
you don't need it,
I
no
didn't
way.
have any money anyway.
You can't afford
But
it.
it was so funny because when he went 219, I just perked up, you know, and I'm ready to whatever it takes. There are some real estate deals. There is construction going on in Towns County, a lot of construction.
Yeah.
Pickens County, everybody says there's still not much construction going on because there are a lot of properties that are still being turned, you know, whatever. But I talked to a realtor yesterday who said she has closings that have been as much as $500,000. So that is really, really cool. That means that things are beginning to sell again.
Well, I have to give you credit. You sure do have a positive attitude, because I was watching Heart of the Home last night. That was filmed when, or taped, or whenever, when?
2 years.
2 years ago.
Last month.
And you had mentioned on there that you see that economy turning around then.
It's
so.
going to. It is getting better. When you see, we saw a lot of new construction, and to me, new construction is good because people are not just, and for you, I don't want to use the word vultures, but a lot of people have taken advantage of situations, and it's a good thing to do. I hate to say that, but it's a really good thing to do. If you can zap up some of these foreclosures and you can fix them up, and then you can keep them a couple of years and turn them, I say in 2 years we are going to come out of this process we've gone through.
Yeah, yeah.
And the process, much of it is because a lot of loans were guaranteed that shouldn't have been, and a lot of people walked away from their, you know, whatever commitments. I'm not one of those, and you'll see that on Joe Kelly's, because if I'd have bankrupted today, I'd have $2.5 million invested in Paul Kiker. And today is something for Paul Kiker, isn't it?
Today is, no, yesterday.
Well, yesterday,
Yeah,
Paul
yesterday
Kiker
was
was
his
older
birthday.
than 35 yesterday. I don't know how old he was. How old do you reckon he is?
I have no idea.
Well, you trust him with all your money. How old do you think he ought to be? Did you ever interview him and ask him what were his credentials?
No.
But you know what? It's important that you trust your financial advisor, and we do trust him. We trust him to come on once a month and spend some time with y'all and give you advice, give you a little bit of info. Sometimes he uses them big words, and I'll get a call from y'all and you'll say, what was he talking about? And sometimes he's real basic and real down to earth, but he can do a financial plan to suit almost anybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing. So if you're a kid going to college and you're trying to save, good luck. If you're a kid going to college and you're able to save, and he will show you how you can start at about 19 years old and invest, and by the time you're 40 be a millionaire. So
Yeah.
some pretty cool things going on with money.
When you say that, it reminded me, I seen on Facebook that Donovan Jones posted on there that he is headed to Savannah.
Oh, back to
I think
SCAD.
over the weekend, yeah.
Yeah. And y'all will remember Donovan did a lot of little blippets for us when we first started here. He did the In the Garden, and he did In Garden #2, and he did the Veterans Salute, and he did a Mother's Day thing for us, the car show.
Didn't he do the in the garden? Did you mention that?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that I did watch Roger's special yesterday all the way through, and it was really good.
Loved it. And then let me tell you what he said. Who's that woman talking? I said, that's Jennifer Van
I didn't recognize your voice, Jennifer Van Danner.
That was Jennifer Van Danner. It was excellent, and if you have not seen it, it will be re-airing again. I'm not sure of the date, but you need to check it out because, you know, I got a little ticked. Is that a word I can use? I guess I can. I got a little ticked with the big media because they didn't give LJ 30 seconds. They gave us about 10 seconds is what I counted down, and I was pretty disgusted with that. Because what happened here in LJ, what happened in Ballground, what happened in Jasper when that flag stopped on its journey was North Georgia showing their support, showing their love for each other and giving back to each other by the North Georgia, or New York Says Thank You Foundation coming to North Georgia. And then when the Atlanta media, truly, and they were contacted several times by several different people, gave us less than 10 seconds. That was pretty discouraging. So if you haven't watched this and you don't realize what happened here in Gilmer County, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and Roger did a great job of getting that, putting it together, showcasing everybody. And I didn't even notice that he showed me stitching the flag.
Yeah.
You recognized my hand.
I
You
said,
gonna
I
tell him what you
recognize
said
that.
about my hand?
I don't know what I said other than that hand looks familiar. Is
Yes, you did.
that what
And
I
I didn't
said?
even recognize it. He looked down and he said, well, that hand on that flag, and then it was me. And it was a great, great honor and a great, great day. And to everybody who was involved in that, man, what a way to give back. Now, yesterday, we listened to something that I'd never heard, and I didn't even know, I wasn't aware that it existed. I guess because 9/11 was one of those things that it tore us up and then it brought us together, which is kind of weird to tear us down and then put us back together, basically.
Tore you apart and then brought you back together. Yeah.
Absolutely. But we listened to recordings from a flight, and the flight attendant's name was Betty, and I can't remember her last name. But she was talking to the air traffic controllers and telling them what was going on when there was one person stabbed, two persons stabbed, da-da-da-da. And she went through this. I'd never listened to that before. And if you weren't already mad at what happened to us, then yesterday, I think I had emotions I'd never had before, because I never thought about what these people on the plane were dealing with, you know.
Did you hear the part where the hijacker came on there?
Yes. And yes, I did. And that's kind of when I got a little, ugh.
It was on YouTube. That's where I pulled it up at.
Okay. Well, I'd never heard that before. And then we watched that commercial. And that commercial, I'm a non-drinker, I'm a non-smoker, but I'll tell you, Budweiser did an amazing, amazing job with a commercial that was aired one time. So they didn't do it as a commercial venture. They did it as a tribute. And when you see the World Trade Center in the background and then the Clydesdales walking gently toward, is it the Hudson River, I guess, behind it? Mm-hmm. And then the horses basically bow down. Now that, I'm getting cold chills talking about it. You need to pull that up on YouTube and watch that, because I'd never seen it. It was aired one time.
Well, you didn't hear anything about it till Cheryl had posted on Facebook.
Yeah. Cheryl had posted it on my Facebook page, and then when I watched it, I'm like, wow, you've got to be kidding me. And then I wanted to see it again, and I thought, what an awesome tribute, because it probably cost them no telling what, but it was their way of saying, we understand, we salute the loss of lives, we salute America for what you're doing to come back together.
Yeah.
And yesterday, the whole day was a tribute. And you know, I think it was like on 9/11 before, we were all glued to our television. We were all watching the tributes. We were all listening to, it was like me listening to things I'd never heard before. It was a day, but it was a day of rejoicing and celebrating. And one of my favorite things was when they showed a child and his dad, a child and his dad. The child never met the dad because the child was born the year of 9/11. And to see the resemblance in these children and their dads,
Yeah.
that was amazing. So a lot of things happened this weekend to make us reflect.
I want to say before I forget, a big thank you to all the people that came to the live show here last Wednesday. I had a blast. It was fun. I really enjoyed that. I wish that we could do that more often.
It was fun.
And especially to the lady who I think lives...
Used to live in Albany?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she lives in Jasper now, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But
Well,
yeah, she
says
used
she
to live...
watches the show and that she loves to hear about our adventures that we have. So
And
I
our
guess she's enjoying it
adventures.
this morning because we've had a little bit of adventure this morning, this weekend, like this one right here.
What is that? Okay, now let me tell you how we started our day. After I did my little business I had to take care of, we showed up at 10 minutes to 1 in East Ellijay. And I'm learning the graphic difference in East Ellijay and Ellijay. They ain't a dime's worth, y'all. But we were in East Ellijay at East Town Cinemas.
Well, a compass might tell you different.
It might. And I'm going to ask a question, and if you can tell me the person who sings this song and the name of the song that is probably in the last 35 years, I would say it is the most recognized song in movie history. And it has to do with something about a direction you're going, and it's got a really zippy tune, and it is the, would you call it the theme song to Smokey and the Bandit? Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to know, and I'm going to give you one of my cookbooks, and I only have a few left, so lucky you. If you win my cookbook, it's 866-939-2329. It has some great recipes in it. If you can tell me, we went to the East Town Cinemas. Freddie, what kind of bargain date am I?
I don't know. What kind of
$4. $4. $4 to get in a movie.
Oh, was that a date?
Yeah, it was the only date we've ever had because we never go anywhere. But we had...
I thought it was a daycation. I thought that's what you call it.
We had popcorn, Coke, and we did it all for less than 20 bucks. So that was pretty cool.
And need I say that a while back we went to another theater that we won't mention.
And it cost us a little bit more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Need I say that up here
We'll be back up
at
here
this
again.
one, yeah, it's what song
Cherie
did he?
Reed, yes.
And was you wanting
And
the name of the song?
is? You got it. You got who's our winner? And can you sing that song, Freddy Brackett?
Not like Jerry Reed.
He can't sing anymore either, sugar. He's gone to heaven. Dwight Barnett. Hey, Dwight, how are you? And good morning to Presley, and hope everything's going well. This young man just had surgery, and his hearing is he's recovering a lot of his hearing, so awesome, awesome. Okay, Dwight Barnett knew, and his wife Lisa will get a copy of my cookbook. Has some great, great recipes in it. Now, the movie, the park, the Riverbend Park, and then we ended somewhere later than we planned.
Well, I've got to add this in.
Okay, go ahead.
The seat up here, you can sit and watch a movie and rock, and I love that.
Yes, he did. He was like the whole time.
I'll remember that.
So, Ann, if you have to replace the springs on that movie.
The next time I'll sit by myself. And I'll just have myself a rocking good time.
Well, let me tell you about this. This is funny because I've probably watched this movie, I'd say at least 50 times on television. Because every time it comes on, I watch it. I'd forgotten some of the things that they edit out for television. So to see it on the big screen, and the one cool thing, and I think I remembered this when they were doing this movie, Burt Reynolds is a short dude. And Sally Fields is tiny, tiny, tiny. But when they walk across the bridge arm in arm after the big episode scene, then he looks taller than her. And he's really not. He's really a short, short dude.
I guess he had on high heels that day.
I think they did some kind of filming. They talked about that a little bit. But that one kiss on the scene, I forgot. That was a pretty romantic movie, too. And a lot of that you lose on television.
Well, I
very
have
different.
to say that...
It was different at the theater.
Yeah, it is different. And, you know, that was a terrific movie.
It was
in
awesome.
its day and today.
Yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't nobody much there to see it.
I was too. Maybe she'll do it again, and maybe we can fill it up next time.
I figured that
It was a beautiful day, though.
there's
a lot of
ball
outside
games,
activities. Yes.
And I thought that might be why, but it was definitely a movie. Even though you've seen it 50 times, go to
Loved
the theater to see
Loved
it again because it's a lot better than seeing it at home.
Yeah. The one thing you don't want to do, if you have a kid that's about to get their driver's license, do not let them learn Smokey and the Bandit's driving techniques. There was some great stunt driving in that movie. I mean, there was some stunt driving. I watched one of the stunts over in Forsyth County when they were jumping onto the trailer with the state patrol car. They had to do that several times, but just the driving technique on that movie, you think about that, that movie was over 30 years ago.
Well, tell who was it in the movie, just had a little small part, but...
Oh, yes, who just passed away?
Yeah.
Yes.
That had been on this show.
A gentleman who has been on the show twice.
Has he been on here twice?
I believe he was on here twice.
Well, your show and then Pam Cavender did a
interviewed
special
him.
on it.
That's right. He was part of our 10 years, and I actually talked to him, and then he was scheduled to come and be back with us in 2 weeks, and he passed away. And he is from what area? Where does he live here? Where did he live here in Gilmer County?
Out Big Creek.
Out Big Creek. If you can call 866-939-2329 and tell me, he was known as the Pickle Man. Is that right? Call us and tell me what his name is. He was in Coweta County.
Oh, he was in a bunch of different
Name
movies,
3 movies. Maybe it'll give folks a hint.
Murder in Coweta County, A Son's Promise,
A Son's Promise.
Tank with James Garner.
Savannah, the series.
Yes, he was in The Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the
series.
Night,
A few episodes of that he was in,
Call us at 866-939-2329 and you're going to win a cookbook. Now that's all the cookbooks for today.
He was also in, what is it? Bagger Vance, what is that?
I don't know.
I mean, Benjamin Buttons, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, what was that? Where he showed his hiney. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, that's right. No, I didn't see the movie, but
Yes, he did, and he talked about that when he was with us. Yeah, but he was in I think he told us over 40 films. I believe that's right.
At least.
And he was recognizable, but he always played different characters, from a shady character to a judge to just very different. Now, what did he play in this movie, in Smokey and the Bandit?
He just had just a line or two. It was, I don't even remember what.
There was somebody else.
Danny Nelson.
Danny Nelson, that's right.
Who was the winner?
Farrell Starnes, yay. Now there was somebody else in this movie that it was his movie debut. And if you think about the General Lee, you will get his name right. And
well, actually, there's 3 people from the Dukes of Hazzard that was in this movie. That played in this movie.
Okay, one of them I know who 2 of them are. I don't know the third one. So I couldn't even win the trivia on that, but I can tell you this really cute blonde.
Now, what did Farrell win?
She won a cookbook.
Oh, all right.
Okay, but this really, really good-looking blonde who went on to do other things other than television was in this, in the, what did you call that, the diversion when the guys were trying to keep the police from getting to Smokey and the Bandit? Is that what they were driving out of the drive-in theater or drive-in restaurant, and he was driving a green Bronco? Is that right?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. If you can tell me, am I going to give away another cookbook?
I don't know.
I guess that'll be it. I'm done after this one. Okay. You think about this. The General Lee was driven by 2 guys, and one of them was a really hot blonde.
Now, are you wanting the real name or stage name or both or either?
Either.
Okay.
Either of the above will do. So call us at 866-939-2329. And if you have not watched Smokey and the Bandit in a theater, next time Miss Hannah does that, we suggest that you do it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something else that's better at the local theater. Her popcorn was better than the other
Yes, it
one.
was.
And he's sitting there going,
Yeah.
and I would start to get a little back, and he'd say, hurry up, because you loved it, didn't you? It was a good day. It was just a good day. It was
And
a good
I
day.
had a little bit left, so I took the rest to Jason because it was too good to throw away. So.
Yeah. And we did go visit with Jason up at the campground, and just a beautiful, beautiful place. And I want to remind you that Hiawassee is going to have the fall events will start very, very soon, and there will be Percy Sledge will be there. Will John Conley be back? I know the Isaacs will be there, the Diplomats will be there. I'll have to get my schedule and see who else is going to be there, but it is going to be a great, great time, and Miss Hilda's going to send us some tickets to give away too. Now this is something, I remember Bad Company, and I remember some of their music, but I could not tell you the name. If somebody asked me trivia today about Bad Company, I could not tell you one song they do, but I know their music is awesome. Yeah, I think Bill Senior did last year, and he loved it.
What about this year?
I don't know. I don't remember. But their
Who was there Friday night?
Who was there what?
Friday night.
I don't, oh, Friday night she had Confederate Railroad. I believe that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe that's right. This week was the Harley Rally, and then we're going to have some tickets available to see Bad Company, and it's a name. Is it Molly Hatchet? Have you ever heard of Molly Hatchet? Mm-hmm. Okay. Those are the two groups that are going to be there, and we're going to give away some tickets to that. Would you call that 80s rock? 70s rock? 70s, 80s rock? Yeah, okay. And we're going to give away some tickets to that in about a week. So remember what we talk about. Think about the things we do, because the trivia comes from that.
Now, what's it?
We hadn't gotten where we had supper.
What? Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. Now, what is coming to the theater?
Oh, guess what's playing right now, and y'all got to go see it, and I'm going to see it, The Help. The Help,
yeah.
Which is a wonderful, everybody's great reviews on this movie. So I want to go see that. And I said, well, Miss Hannah, he won't come. It's a chick flick. She said, no, it is not a chick flick. So local theater, and we talk about this all the time. Please give back to our community. You know, that's what it's all about, keeping it here, keeping the jobs. I thought about this yesterday. We're always telling folks, you know, spend money locally, spend money locally. Do you know who one of the largest employers in Gilmer County is? ETC3. You probably have family who works here. You probably have neighbors who work here. We are one of the largest employers in the county. And that goes from, there's an office in Ball Ground. We've got an office in Jasper. The answer is John Schneider. Yep. Yay. And he is a hot blonde. Yay. Can you say hot blonde in the same sentence? Yeah. I don't know who the winner is. You want to tell them what I named my car and why? Couldn't believe I
don't want us to until we come back after the break, so I can go back there and make sure that Dave Garner's listening.
He thought I should name my car Dave, because Dave's kind of a hottie. And I said, well, that car is really cool. Yeah, and everybody loves my car, and it's an older car, but it gets great fuel mileage, and it's got a little bitty payment, and that's why I have it.
Well, let's back up just a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
As the viewers probably can remember, about a week or two ago, it was on here, boy, that Dave Garner, boy, he is some hot stuff, let me tell you right now.
I'm trying to get him a woman. No, I'm not really.
Sounds like you are trying to get him one.
No, I'm not. He is a good guy. He's a good guy.
But anyway, that was so funny. That was so funny that you were talking about Dave like that, and then you get this car that you started saying that you was in love with, and you was going to come up with a name, and I was sitting there watching your show, and I was thinking, Dave Garner?
Where are you going to name the car Dave? No.
And I had forgot about to tell you that until you wrote on Facebook that you were going to name your car
Sean. I named my car Sean because
Dave, you got thrown off for Sean.
The one person I want to interview, if I live long enough, two people I want to interview. Queen Latifah, love her, love her, love her. I want to interview Queen Latifah, and I want to interview Sean Hannity. So I named my car Sean. So my car is Sean, and I guess I just, you know, I love that car. I love the mileage it gets. I love everything about it. Now, if it ever breaks down and leaves me on the side of the road, I'm going to kick it and hate it. But the two people, and I've always said, I liked Queen Latifah in a lot of movies, but when I saw The Last Holiday, she was just the coolest person. So, 2 people I want to interview, and if I live long enough, maybe I'll get to. But yeah, Sean Hannity's one of those guys. I really, really admire him. So my car is Sean. So there you go. It's not Dave.
Well, you can call it Sean, but I'm gonna call it Dave. All right, Dave. All right, Dave, let's go.
Oh, Lordy, we've got to go to our commercials. We had a great weekend, and thank you to Ed Singleton for trying to buy us lunch. There you go. It kind of fell apart, but thank you very much. As always, we had a Subway. We like that store in Blairsville, and I don't know what it is about it.
And I especially like Saturdays at the Subway, because that is their Saturday roast beef special combo whatever day. So
but anyway, we had a great day, and we didn't go, were we 75 miles from home possibly? Is that
something
about
like
right?
that,
Yeah. And in 75 miles, we did a whole day. We had a great time, and we want to suggest it to you. We didn't use a quarter of a tank of gas. We didn't spend a lot of money, but we had a really, really good time. And this weather just kind of added to it. So this weekend, we're going to encourage y'all. When we come back, we're going to tell you where we're going to be on Saturday, and we hope that you will join us for a very, very special night in Mineral Bluff, Georgia. We're back. You know what we missed this weekend? We didn't go by Julie's restaurant. And we want to welcome Julie. She's one of our new sponsors, and Julie is also opening a place down in Jasper, Georgia. We're excited about that. So if you like good country cooking with a little bit of a twist, because she does some classics like Reuben's and Patty Melts and different things like that, go by and see Julie, and make sure she's there and she knows that you saw her commercial on ETC, because that is one of the best bargains in the community is the commercials on ETC.
And headed to Jasper too, right?
She is, yay. All right, some birthdays. Donovan Stone, happy birthday from grandparents Edward. Edward, what does that say?
Can't see it.
I can't tell. And Sister Dana, and happy birthday to you, 9 years old on September 13th. And to Kenneth West on 9/12, happy birthday to you.
Oh, I know Kenneth West, yeah.
He and his wife used to eat at the restaurant all the time.
And actually, you had him on the show one time.
I did.
Him and Lisa was on there with him, right? And she works at the Ball Ground ETC office. Go by and say good morning to her. He
and his wife used to eat at the restaurant all the time. On Friday nights, you could just about see them coming in the door. So happy birthday to you. And one of our buddies and one of our dear friends, Ernest Gibbs, happy birthday on your 73rd from your wife Betty and from us. Happy birthday to you today. There you go. Now, this weekend, you can't be in 2 places at one time, so you have to make a decision. There's a lot going on this weekend. Saturday morning, the Tri-State Electric will have their annual meeting, and some of our friends, the Barker Brothers, will be playing there on Saturday morning at the Fannin Performing Arts Center. I believe that's right. And that night, the Barkers will be playing for 2nd anniversary up at Brothers in, is that Blairsville address?
Young Harris.
Young Harris, okay. But we will be with the Kaler family. And we will be with the Kaler family because we made a commitment. Try to be.
Well, you know, I don't like saying we're going to be there and then something happens. And you know, we were going to be with the Barkers
last year,
and
something happened.
How long did we end up staying?
7 minutes.
Yeah. So
I remember that night well.
We went in, sit down, ordered our drinks, got a supper too, and had to get up and leave.
Yeah. Welcome to trucking.
Yeah.
But anyway, happy anniversary to the Kalers as we celebrate with the Kalers singing at Mineral Bluff, Salem number 2 on Saturday night. Now, I sure hope we can get there because I told Miss Linda we'd do our best, and we will do our best. Please come out and join us at any of these events. Hopefully, you will catch the Barkers at 1 or 2 of the locations they're going to be because they are local talent that started right here. Now, we're going to show you a clip from the National Quartet Convention. For many of you who love Southern Gospel music, you have followed this for years and years and years, and it's been a lifelong dream to go to the convention. I've never been to the convention, but I've seen the evidence of it. I've met some of the great people who do their gospel music this week they are showing up in Louisville, Kentucky to honor each other and to say who is the very best. My opinion, the person who will win, who's won for the last several years, the Triumphant Quartet is awesome, 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 awesome. But the Booth brothers are on top of their game. So I'm not sure who's going to be
Well, I hope
number
it's,
one.
You know, that they're good and they deserve it, but I'll you know,
Diplomats.
as you do, you know.
You do love the Diplomats. We love the Diplomats. And you know, last night on the Heart of the Home, the song that they did with Matt, Jesus is Coming Soon, is my all-time favorite. I mean, when I see that group together with Matt, that's the one song I want to hear them do. And it was a great, last night was a good Heart of the Home. That was fun. And
Yeah.
it was fun to do that. And it's fun to share our trips with you. And that's kind of what gave us the idea for today. We do share where we go, and sometimes y'all call us and say, man, I'd have never thought of that. Well, where he took me Saturday, I'd have never thought of that. Had no idea how close we were to that river. It was absolutely gorgeous. So get out and drive around. You can do it within 75 miles of home and see a lot. So right now, we're going to take you to the National Quartet Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm not sure who you're going to get to see, but we'll do a couple of songs, and hopefully you will be saying, that's awesome. Maybe next year I'll get myself a ticket and I'll go to Louisville.
Walk in the light, it won't be long. Let me tell you now it's easy to hate your enemy, but it's just as easy to love your friends. But if you're gonna love like the Bible tells you, you got to let the love of God come in. You got to do right, walk in the light. It won't be long. It won't be long. Oh, don't you wanna love Him better? Don't you wanna love Him more? Can't you hear the Savior knocking? Keeps knocking at your door. You better make a haste to meet your Maker before you have to meet the Undertaker. He will save you right now if you are willing. Don't you see the Bible is fulfilling? You got to do right, walk in the light. You got to do right, walk in the light. You got to do right, walk in the light. It won't be long.
if that little blip it tempted you to next year plan a trip with some friends, family, whoever, and go to the National Quartet Convention. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, which is 5 hours from here. Is that about right?
Well, I'd say it's a little longer than that, but
But you need to get your tickets in advance. But go. Travis and Leisha are up there for the week. They
Yeah.
love it. They absolutely love it. And thank you for the promo on that. Tomorrow we'll share a little bit more of that. If you haven't had the opportunity to go, there are so many groups there. And it's a time that you get to sit down and talk and visit with the groups. They each have booths and they spend time in their booths. And you get to know them, you know, and that's part of what gospel music is. These guys are approachable and touchable. They're not like some of the folks that you can't get anywhere near. They are really just the
you've
real
never
deal.
been.
Never been, never been. Keep hoping someday I'll get to go. But, all right, I got to tell you something that's happening here in Gilmer County this weekend. The GAHA, Gilmer Arts and Heritage Association, is going to have an attic sale Friday, September the 16th, and Saturday, September the 17th, from 9 to 5 on Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturday. And it is cleaning out, making money, and raising money for GAHA. Their telephone number is 706-635-5605. And this is the month, a celebration of dolls, antique dolls, and those done by doll artist Mary Ann Byers. I don't remember her work, but I love dolls. So go by, and this is through September the 23rd. And this is also at GAHA at 207 Dalton Street here in Ellijay. So now there's going to be a huge flea market. The location at the Lions Club Fairground. This is this Friday and Saturday from 8:30 a.m. until 4 and from 8:30 to 2. This is it's the Good Samaritan huge flea market. This is this weekend coming up, and if you have a need for anything, I'll bet you can find it this weekend at the Lions Club Fairground. We have some announcements from Harmony School down in Jasper. Do you know where Harmony Elementary
Yep,
is?
I do.
Yes, it is. Right there. Brand new school right down there near 515. On September the 16th, yearbook pictures. So parents, remember that, and remember to dress them up and make them look cute for their yearbook pictures. And on September 19th through 23rd, there will be a book fair there. So every week we will share these announcements with you, and that's compliments of Sandra Jones, and she's the Sunshine Committee. She works with special needs kids, and that's something that's very close to your heart,
Yep.
isn't it? Okay, we have got a lot going on this week. If you have events that you would like for us to share, if you will notice, this is the time of year everybody is busy. They're doing something. Miss Hannah was doing a beauty pageant, and I think that was that this weekend. I'm not sure. I saw a lot of things on the internet. I think Miss Ann Reese's little granddaughter won something, had something cute. Oh my Lord, was she cute? A lot going on in our communities, a lot to do to promote and to prosper our communities, and that's what we want to try to do. What is that?
Let's mention about the Burnt Mountain Center.
Absolutely. Open house on the 19th.
Yeah, I don't.
Noon, I believe it's at
okay.
noon. I believe it is at noon. Open house. If you have anything to do down in Jasper that day, find an excuse to go to Jasper and go by, drop by, and get to know the wonderful people at Burnt Mountain Center. Now, Debbie Rooker, and who was here last Wednesday?
Yeah. I don't know who the lady with her was, but
they wanted to invite y'all to
Yeah.
Burnt Mountain Center. Burnt Mountain Center is a big part of what is successful in the Pickens County community.
yeah.
A lot of clients are served by that. They go out on jobs. They have work brought to them. A lot of teaching skills go on there. They do craft things. What else do they do there to stay
I don't
busy?
know what all they do, but I know the building is bigger than from the last time I was in there, and I hope that I get to go by there and see it because it's been a long time since I've been there.
And y'all have seen their choir, I guess we'd call it their
Yeah.
choir. They've been on our program, and you know, they were part of the special that Miss Hannah did. We went up and met with Radio for his birthday last
Yeah.
year. And Hannah put together the footage that you did, and then we also brought the Burnt Mountain Choir in here, and we hope that we open your doors to people who have special needs are just special people, and what a joy they brought to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what time of when last year did we go to interview Radio?
About right now.
So it's his birthday.
It's very close to his birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, very close to his
Yeah.
birthday, and his birthday was very important to him, and maybe we'll re-air that in the near future.
Yeah.
But it was a very, very good day with some special
Yeah,
friends.
and I want to say on behalf of Angela T. Burgess that it was so good to have her back
It
on
was.
the show,
It
and
was.
there was so many people saying that they were so glad to get to see Angela back on the show, and she was so glad to be back on the show and
She
needed to
didn't
be.
wear her wig, and it was like she was back because her hair is growing back. She had that big place, and she was real self-conscious of it, but she didn't have to wear a wig, and her hair looked cute, and it was just, yeah, it was good to have her back. So, yeah, and that is, you know, y'all have helped her recover. Your prayers have helped her immensely. She says it all the time. She can feel your prayers. And I think that's something that we have to be aware of. When we put off negative vibes, then it comes back to hurt us, comes back to haunt us. When you do something positive, it comes back to you 10,000 times.
Yep.
10,000 times. And I got a sweet, sweet note from Inez Jones last night. She said, thank you so much for the prayers. You have prayed over her grandson, Justin, who was injured in Iraq or in Afghanistan. I'm not sure which one, but he is in San Diego now. He had surgery, like 10 to 12 hours of surgery. He is recovering. And we had a prayer request for a tiny baby. Was it Nick and Ashley Dodd?
Yeah.
Their young baby was born and has some issues, and he is now, I believe it's he.
I think so.
So, is down at Scottish Rite or Eggleston, I'm not sure. But please pray for them. Young family with their firstborn with some issues to deal with. And prayers are always needed. And that's one of the things we have the ability to ask you to pray with us. And what a pleasure and what an honor to be able to do that and to put you together.
Okay, now this is the parents of the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Nick's daddy is Randy?
Randy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And Randy, for y'all who don't know it, a lot of the vegetables you saw that we cooked with, worked with, cleaned with, da-da-da-da-da, he picked a whole lot of them, didn't he?
Yeah.
A whole lot of them. And boy, did we learn a lesson about gardening. We're going to share that with you in the near future. We said we would keep up with what it costs to do it, what it costs to produce it, and what it reaped. What you sow shall you reap. Well, we learned a lesson, and we're going to share that with you in the near future. We're also going to give you some tickets to go see, what did I say, Molly? Is it Molly Hatchet? Molly Hatcher. I don't know. At Bad Company. I do know Bad Company. We're going to give you some tickets, compliments of the Georgia Mountain Fair in Hiawassee. We suggest you make plans to go there. It's going to be a fun week.
Who was that Angela went to a while back to see, and I was saying, asking him, is that a play?
Oh yeah, who was it? It was a group
Cinderella?
Cinderella, yeah, Cinderella. And it's a group, you just have to figure, we led a pretty sheltered life until we started doing this. So some of these 80s groups, we don't know a whole lot about them. So yeah, Angela said, I'm going to see Cinderella, and he said, oh, you're going to a play? No, not exactly. It's time to do something we don't do.
Well, don't do it.
Don't do it, we won't do it. We will
Or
say,
for a change, do it.
we will say good day to Lois Chastain and all our friends. To Miss Farrell Starnes, thank you for being my co-host last week. To each of you, thank you for trusting us, and thank you for tuning in to ETC. We're on year 11. Wow, how cool is that? From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Cherie.
And I'm Freddy Brackett. Y'all have a good day, good week, and I may be back on Wednesday.
He'll be back on Wednesday if my salmon patties don't kill him. We'll be
Angela
back.
may be here Wednesday.
We'll see you only on ETC 3.
From the lips of God. A red rose blooming out a canyon rock. Through a hole in the cloud she fell one